Hi, I'm Don Klingen. When Vic Burwell asked me to help welcome Dr. Anderson into the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame, I was really excited. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about Bill, the person who is a great asset to our community. Many of us got to know Dr. Bill when he became the president of West Shore Community College. In that role, he demonstrated outstanding leadership throughout his tenure. I've had the good fortune of becoming a strong personal friend of Bill Anderson over the many years and have found that the character that he demonstrates in his professional and personal life is of the highest quality. In today's world, when leaders sometimes do not demonstrate the very best judgment or behavior, Dr. Bill stands at the top of the hill of demonstrating high standards and good values. His honesty, his generosity, his compassion for others, his powerful work ethic, and his sense of fairness make him a great leader and a good person. Our community has benefited many times from Bill's ability to lend a helping hand. Bill never says, "No, I won't," or "No, I can't." Bill is a man of great spiritual faith, and that faith has given him the ability to believe in people he associates with. I'm sure many of us today have experienced the motivational influence of interacting with Bill. If Bill had been my teammate, he would have been the best teammate I ever had. If he had been my coach, he would have been the best coach I ever had. He is my friend, and he's one of the best friends I have ever had. Congratulations, Bill.
Hey everybody, my name is Luke Jensen, and 15 years ago, my brother and I had the honor of going into the Mason County Hall of Fame all those years ago. And now it's an honor for me to introduce my two sisters, Rachel and Rebecca Jensen, more specifically Rebecca. Back in November 19th, 1978, a magical day, and a day that became trouble for my brother and I. We were going to the hospital. My dad said, "Hey, Murphy and Luke, you have to decide a twin to take care of, the mentor to really watch over, because you know they're going to be trouble." So Murphy said right away, "I'm going to take care of Rachel. I'm going to make sure that she's safe and everything. I'm going to teach her everything I know." Dude, you're 4. Now, I wasn't any better. I was just 6. So my responsibility was to make sure Rebecca was staying out of trouble. Rebecca was just doing everything right. So that day really started an unbelievable process where now, all these years later, this great accomplishment. So I had the great opportunity to be Rebecca's mentor, caretaker for all of these years. And if there's one thing that always kind of symbolizes Rebecca, it's her toughness. As a competitor, you never wanted to play her. She would knife fight you for a point. One of the stories I remember was when she was younger in the state championship when she was playing high school tennis, was she was undefeated in the season. When I mean undefeated, she hadn't lost a game the entire season against her opponents. And she gets to the final day and she's gonna kind of close out the season with another double bagel score. That's 6-0, 6-0. And she cuts her foot on some glass going to school, and all of a sudden, instead of like quitting, she wants to accomplish the double bagel. She wants to go the entire season. So she wraps up her foot. It's bleeding through the sock, through the tape job, and it's bleeding through the shoe, and she accomplishes the goal of winning 6-0, 6-0 in the finals, completing an entire bagel season in her high school career. And then, of course, going to the University of Kansas, where she really puts that program on the map, her and her doubles partner winning the NC2A tournament. And that's the first time the Kansas Jayhawks had ever had an NC2A female championship team. So that was a tremendous accomplishment. And then my favorite story with Rebecca is playing Wimbledon with her. And one of my proudest accomplishments is not necessarily winning the French Open in doubles, but completing the Grand Slam with my family. Sports was our uniter. Sports, all sports that we played, whether it's basketball, football, running, everything around Ludington and Mason County, it was our family's uniter. So when we got an opportunity to go out, it was always as a team. It wasn't just for the boys or just for the girls. It was always as a team. But tennis became not just our sport. It was one thing that really connected us moving forward to see the world. And to be able to go to all the Grand Slams and compete with my siblings was unbelievable. But at this certain Wimbledon, Rebecca and I were playing mixed doubles. And we're kind of charging through the draw. And we get to a point where it looks like we're about to play Martina Navratilova and her partner on center court Wimbledon. Yeah, that Martina Navratilova. 59 Grand Slam victories, the whole shot. So Rebecca and I are winning this match. It was on the graveyard court, court number 2. We win the first set. We're up in the second set. Now on the changeover, we're up 5-4 and it's my serve. So we're in a great position. I'm gonna serve righty, serve lefty, we're gonna poach, we're gonna move. We've been dominating the match so far. So the last thing you wanna do is get into anybody's mind, especially my mind. Rebecca, who's usually such a very positive doubles partner, turns to me and says, whatever you do, don't blow it for me now. Why would you say that? Don't blow it for me, not blow it for us, not like blow the tournament or blow the match. I mean, I was locked in, I was about to serve this thing up, but on the changeover at Wimbledon, she's telling me don't blow it for her. So I go around, of course, I mess up, double fault, and hitting shots all over the place. And she turns to me, I knew it. I knew you were gonna blow it for me now. Why'd you do that? So it was like one of these moments in time that I will never forget. And to this day, she still sticks it to me how I blew that Wimbledon match. But I got a chance to play the US Open mixed doubles with my sister Rachel and all the Grand Slams with my brother Murphy. And the thing is about Ludington and Mason County, it will always be about family. And I hope that this honor that is bestowed upon all the recipients, that it's not about remembering what Luke or Murphy and Rachel, Rebecca and Howard O and PMJ did, but to me, it's about the kids that grow up and they walk by the Hall of Fame and they see examples of what you can do from Mason County, what you can do from a small town like Ludington, Michigan. If you choose to dream, if you choose to take 31 and go south and see the world through your passion, through your gift. Everybody's got talent. Not everyone has the courage. It is my honor to welcome to the Mason County Hall of Fame my sister, Rebecca Jensen, and Rachel Jensen, the Troublemakers. We love you.
I'm Murphy Jensen, member of the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame of 2005, with my big brother, Luke Benjamin Jensen. And today's a special day for all of us because it finalizes the final 2 members of the Jensen family going into this great Hall of Fame, and it's a great honor for our whole family. Everything we did was as a family, and all our goals were set as a family. Rachel was the twin that I picked, leaving the Mason County Memorial Hospital the day she was born. It was a day that the earth moved here in Ludington because she, of the 4 siblings, in my opinion, was the most competitive, fierce, ferocious, dynamic, colorful, creative, loving, lovable individuals I had ever experienced meeting in my lifetime. And I've met a lot of great athletes along my journey. But the truth is, she made everybody in our family better, and she pushed us to be better than we thought we could be ourselves. But it was all of us working together, running out to that state park, being the first to finish a hot fudge sundae at House of Flavors, being the first to St. Simon's Elementary School, but competing was what made her great. She loved to compete, and more than anything on the planet, she'll tell it to you herself, she loved to win. Now, when you say about love to win, we all love to win. No. She really loved to win. She would go to any lengths to beat her sister, Rebecca, number one. I think, like me and Luke, it was more important that I beat up on my brother than it was beating up on our opponents. And I think that's what made our family special, is that we pushed each other all along the way. And then it wasn't enough that Rachel was beating Rebecca at times, and Rebecca beating Rachel, or Rachel beating her opponents. She wanted a piece of Luke, and then she wanted a piece of me, then she wanted a piece of my dad, and then she wanted a piece of my mom. And it's like Rachel ran to her own beat in a big way. Nothing but love for Rachel and winning. Love you, Rachel. Congratulations.
Jeffrey, congratulations on being nominated to the Hall of Fame, Mason County Hall of Fame. That's a fantastic thing to have happen, and especially since you're the first wrestler from Mason County Central to be on it. I was just thinking back when I first got to working with you in wrestling, and I think I took you and a bunch of kids over to Ames, Iowa for a wrestling camp, and we learned a lot about each other on that trip. Did a little camping along Lake Superior. And I remember you guys kept me awake all night swatting mosquitoes. And I got even with you the next day down to Minnesota. If you recall, as soon as you went to sleep, I hit the brakes and screamed every time your eyes closed, and got even. But anyhow, that trip was awesome because I learned a lot about you and your motivation. And on top of that, it's very pleasing to know that you did such a great job in school, not just wrestling, but also being part of the system. And that was it's an honor to have you as a wrestler and a graduate and a friend. So congratulations on making that Hall of Fame.
Hi, I'm Tim Jensen. I've had the privilege of serving the Mason County Central School District for the last 27 years as its athletic director. In that time, I've had the opportunity to see some outstanding athletes come through our system. And among those is 2000 graduate Erica Beanick-Reed. Although I never had the opportunity to coach Erica, I did watch her game grow to a point where she went to Western Michigan University and became a trailblazing athlete for their women's golf program. Overcoming challenges and becoming a trailblazer was nothing new to Erica. We've never had a golf team at Mason County Central, so in the fall of 1996, Erica's freshman year, Her opportunity to play came on the boys' golf team, where just being on the golf team wasn't satisfaction enough for Erica. She expected to be a counter. She expected to be in the top 5. She expected to be the best. And by the time she was a junior, she was actually playing regularly as our #1 golfer against the likes of former North Muskegon great and former professional golfer Colby Beckstrom. Her teammates shared with me they always remember Erica as someone who was humble in her own accomplishments, but quick to compliment somebody with their great performance. They appreciated her quiet confidence. It actually pushed them to improve their game. She earned their respect with her attitude, her ability. They always remember Erica as a great teammate. Erica went on to have a stellar collegiate career at Western Michigan University, where she set the tone for a new program. She even had a brief stint as a playing professional on the LPGA's Symetra Tour, before finally settling back here in Mason County as Lincoln Hills head professional. We're a lucky community to have someone like Erica with her character and her drive leading as the head professional Lincoln Hills Golf Club. Congratulations, Erica. I feel so honored to be the first to welcome the newest Spartan in the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame.
Hi, my name's Wally Sadasti, and I'm here to introduce Steve Shaner, who is being inducted into the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame. Steve Shaner and Steve Shaner's family moved from DeKalb, Illinois to Ludington in the summer of 1956, and that was between Steve's sophomore and junior year. It didn't take long for Steve to catch up with the basketball players in Ludington. We spent a lot of time during the summer with the summer basketball program, and summer basketball back in the mid-50s was a lot different than it is today. Summer basketball consisted of calling up Mr. Madden and asking him if he would open up Hawley for us to play basketball all afternoon. And if that didn't work, I hate to say this, we would pick the lock at Old Oriole Hall and go in there and play basketball all afternoon. I think a lot of people knew we were in there, but we didn't cause any problems, and we were able to pull it off, and we didn't get in trouble. But we found out during the summer that Steve was an awesome, outstanding basketball player. He was a very disciplined player, and he played with a lot of confidence. And Steve very quickly became an Oriole, and that's kind of hard to do when you're transferring from a high school between your sophomore and junior year. So at the start of the season in 1956, we would have been probably a above average basketball team, but with him on the team, we were a very, very good basketball team. Good to the point where we were ranked #1 in the state in Class B after about 9 or 10 ball games. And that was due in large part to Steve. Steve was about 6'3", he could run the court, he could rebound, he could play defense, and best of all, he could score. And I'd like to share one last little story about Steve. This was his junior year, and we were playing Manistee for the second time in Hawley Gym. At the end of regulation, the score was tied, and we played the first and second overtimes. It's still tied, and so we started the third overtime, which was a sudden death overtime at that time, and we got the tip. And I don't know if it was 1 or 2 passes, but we eventually got the ball to Steve in the corner, and without hesitation, without thinking about driving to the basket, he just goes up and hits a jump shot, game's over. That is a shot that people back then will remember, but a lot of people that are here tonight won't even know what happened, but that was the shot back then. So Steve, I'd like to congratulate you once again for becoming a member of the Hall. It's a great honor. It's well deserving for you. And I would like to say that I hope that you enjoy this evening with your family and with your friends. And history is going to be talked about when you get on stage. Congratulations.
It's a pleasure to talk about Harry. I came back to Ludington in 1958. I was working with Co-Watch, and Harry was a very respected player with his teammates and with the faculty and with the student body. The student body was real supportive of him. I know his parents were very enthusiastic about the activities in school. Got a little excited when Harry decided to play football. 6'10" player makes for a great target, but you know, he had a strong arm. He really could put some zip on that ball. And he did the same thing as far as baseball was concerned. You get to know somebody when you work individually with them on individual drills, and no one really gets too excited about doing individual drills. But Harry was just as enthusiastic at the end of 3 years as he was at the beginning. He had a very illustrious high school career, very intelligent player, and a good student. He eventually went on and finished his career at Western Michigan University, and he stayed in the Kalamazoo area. Also participated in some basketball in the Kalamazoo area. There was one incident that I think shows his enthusiasm and how he is respected by the young people. He worked part-time at the skating rink over at Franklin, between Franklin and high school. And can you imagine 6'10" Harry strapping on those skates, and he's 7 foot, and the kids just loved it. So he was really in touch with those kids. Congratulations, Harry, on your induction into the Hall of Fame. Have a good evening with your family and friends. You deserve it.